Sickle cell disease can be found in North America, Sub-Sahara, South America, Central America, Cuba, Saudi Arabia, India, the Mediterranean, Turkey, Greece, and Italy. It is estimated 1 million to 3 million Americans and 8 to 10% of the African Americans are affected by sickle cell.
Sickle cell is probably, in my estimation, the most devastating genetic disease known to man. What makes it so devastating is the fact that persons with sickle cell disease are affected throughout their life cycle, whereas other diseases like hemophilia or Tay-Sachs disease, which are also genetic diseases, they don't live as long, so they don't suffer as much. And the suffering of sickle cell disease is what makes it so impactful and make it one of the worst genetic diseases known to man.
Back in the 60s and the early 70s, young kids was frequently misdiagnosed with having sickle cell. It wasn't until I became a young adult, a teenager, that I really understood that I had sickle cell 1 and what sickle cell was 2. So I didn't even realize for the first 15 or 16 years of my life that I was living with sickle cell.
There's a misconception about sickle cell that it only affects immigrants, for instance Africans, or people coming from other countries, and that's not true. Sickle cell can affect anybody.
What I've come to learn about the understanding of sickle cell, especially for medical students that become residents, there's very little information about sickle cell in the medical school curriculum. So you have residents that are coming out, they're in the emergency room, they don't have much information about sickle cell disease, they don't understand about the need for powerful opioids such as morphine, Demerol, Percodan, Percocet, and all the others, and their training says to err on the side of caution, that you don't want to overdose a person. So because they don't have the understanding of the level of pain that a person is dealing with, they tend to not want to listen to what the patient is saying when they say, listen, this is my medical protocol. This is the information that I take. It can even be written, and they're still hesitant about providing that medication to a person, because for the average person, the amount of medication that we're talking about, they feel could be a lethal dose, and so they don't want to do it. And then there's issues of, I call it institutional racism or prejudices about an African American presenting with sickle cell in the emergency room, and they're just looking at them as labeling them as drug seekers, and that they just came to get the medication. But what they don't know is the fact that most people don't even want to go to the emergency room. It's the last place that they want to be.
Crazy. That's chop job. That's chop job. It's not my job. I'm not a doctor. Why would I know anything about a DEA? See, here's another aspect of what goes on. Now we just left CHOP. They didn't put a DA number or DEA number on the prescription. So now we have to wait to hear from them in order for him to get his prescription. Now, in the meantime, he has to wait around in pain. So how are you feeling now, Nazir?
I'm back starting to hurt again.
They just call me back, okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you. So now, the hospital called back, so they have the DEA number. Well, we only had to wait about 10 minutes. However, 10 minutes can be the difference from us going back to the hospital because his pain level was back at a 10.
I decided that I'm going to use my filmmaking skills and create a documentary to help educate the world, educate the masses on what sickle cell is, to help rid the ignorance of sickle cell and all the negative mindsets that people have about sickle cell, or just educate people what sickle cell is.